New Moon Tears and Truth. Dakota Johnson confronts Amelia Warner's claims. Los Angeles was a purple-orange blur of late afternoon. The skyscrapers reflected the sunset, but inside a luxurious penthouse on the 42nd floor, the space was darker than anywhere else. Dakota Johnson stood in front of the window, her eyes staring blankly at the bustling street, but inside her heart was a cold gray. Her phone vibrated, the screen displaying a message she never wanted to see, a notification of Amelia Warner's public statement on an entertainment news site. A commentator's voice rang through the video. Amelia Warner just spoke up about her relationship with Jamie Dornan, and her message was directed at Dakota Johnson. She put the phone down, her heart pounding, and everything slowed down. Amelia's words echoed in her head, as if they were piercing her heart. I just want everyone to know the truth. I've loved Jamie for a long time, and I never wanted to stand in the way of anyone's happiness, but Dakota needs to understand that. Dakota put her head in her hands, tears welling up in her eyes. She remembered everything, the days with Jamie, the memories that had been private, now exposed to the world. The pain wasn't just from Amelia's words, but from the feeling that everything she believed in had suddenly become fragile. 2 hours later, Dakota was still sitting in her room, newspapers and social media posts scattered across the floor. Friends were calling, but she wasn't listening. People were talking, making comments, but inside her there was only an empty feeling. The truth had been distorted, and the pain had become public. A knock sounded on the door. She lifted her head, saw her mother standing outside, her eyes worried. Darko, are you okay? Dakota just lifted her shoulders, her voice hoarse. Mom, do you know how it feels to have the whole world looking at you as if you were a sinner? Her mother was speechless. She walked in, sat down next to Dakota, and held her hand tightly. You are not guilty, Darko. But you need to face it. You cannot let this pain consume you. She could only cry, tears rolling down her cheeks. The next day, before appearing in the media, Dakota decided not to be silent anymore. She sat in front of the dressing table, her face pale but her eyes determined. Everything she prepared was not criticism or response, but the truth from her heart. Every tear contained unspoken emotions. When she stepped up to the podium in a small press conference, all eyes were on her. Cameras panned quickly, reporters clutched pens and microphones. Dakota took a deep breath, her voice trembling but growing stronger. I heard Amelia Warner's words. I know many people will want me to react strongly, but what I need to do is not respond with anger, but share the truth. I loved and trusted, and like everyone else, when we love, we are vulnerable. I do not hide my feelings, and I do not hide the wounds this relationship has left. She paused, looking straight into the camera. Tears fell, but she could not hide her resilience. The truth is, Jamie and I were happy, and I will cherish those memories. But the pain is real. And the regret is not personal. The words echoed, silencing the room. A few reporters fell silent, not interrupting with questions. Dakota continued, I'm not mad at Amelia. I don't want the relationship or the truth to be distorted. I just want people to understand that, behind every public statement, there are hearts trying to heal. After the press conference, Dakota returned to her apartment and sat on the living room floor. Everything around her was strangely quiet. She closed her eyes and sighed. The pain wasn't gone, but for the first time, she felt a little relieved, as if the truth she had told her had lifted some of the burden from her heart. But when her phone rang, she saw a text message from Amelia Warner. Dakota. If you want, I'm willing to explain. I don't want to cause more pain. I was wrong to let it all go public. Dakota looked at the screen, her heart pounding. She knew that this conversation would be more than an apology. It would take her on a journey to uncover the truth, confront regret, and reach the deepest wounds of her soul. Tears fell again, but this time, it wasn't just pain. It was acceptance, and a glimmer of hope that, after tragedy, light could still be found.